Street Child is an organisation working in the world's very poorest countries and in conflicts and climate-affected disaster situations, arguing that and delivering excellent solutions to get children learning. And we think if you have an education, you have a chance in life. And Davos is a meeting of the rich and the powerful. Like you said, governments are here who are busy cutting aid. We're saying that's not a smart move in the long term. In Davos, all the chat is about being visionary and forward-looking. Well, I mean, cutting aid, which means cutting education programs for 5 and 10-year-old children. It's just a surefire way to start the next war in 5 or 10, 15 years' time, because you'll have children with no hope, no future. These are the sorts of arguments we're trying to make, not so much the bleeding heart argument that doesn't go down so well with the Davos crowd. We're trying to make rational arguments that actually is not just kind and decent, it's smart and visionary to invest in the futures of children in the world's trickiest places. Yeah.
And I know the issue that you have, because with this foreign aid cut here in the UK, that money has been shifted into more defence spending. And I guess at the minute we can see all these issues playing out globally that some, and maybe some that are with you there in Davos, would say actually justify that shift in policy.
Well, my father was the former head of the British Army, and he thinks the move from aid budget to military budget was pretty daft in the long term. And so there are lots of right-thinking people that recognise that we do need to defend ourselves in this day and age, but we also need to ensure a decent world for the world's poorest children, and how do we do that? And these are the themes that organisations like Street Child are on the ground trying to argue for, and not just with governments, but also philanthropy. Again, Davos is essentially a business meeting, so you've got all the big corporates, you've got who knows how many billionaires. I find if government is stepping back, well, why don't ultra-rich individuals step into some of that space and help children go to school and be mentally safe? I'm just from an event with our colleagues at War Child, and they were putting forwards the importance of investing in the mental health of children affected by war. Earlier in the day, we're at an event, in fact we hosted an event where Matt Damon from water.org, and also known from a few films, came and raised the profile of water as an issue which gets in the way of children's education, amongst other things. And so this is just a little insight into Davos life. You've got all manner of God's creatures running around pushing their own agendas, but for an organisation like Street Child, we're here and we're proud to be here, talking to the rich and famous, talking to the powerful, talking to governments, and saying, what about children in the world's toughest places? Street Child thinks that we'll build a better world if we educate children in places like Sierra Leone, in places like Afghanistan, in places like South Sudan. And it's not just a good thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. And it's not easy, frankly, because Davos is about big money. But there's plenty of us charities running around doing our bit around the edges to try and be a voice for the world's toughest children, and that's what Street Child stands for. And here we are.
Well, Tom, we appreciate your time. We hope that you get some of those meetings in, because